Hello everyone, welcome to my political journalism news channel. The story for today is Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed a bill introducing a prison sentence of up to 15 years for those spreading information that goes against the Russian government's narrative on the war in Ukraine. The bill criminalizing the intentional spreading of what Russia deems to be fake reports about the war was quickly rubber-stamped by both houses of the Kremlin-controlled parliament earlier in the day. Russian authorities have repeatedly decried reports of Russian military setbacks or civilian deaths in Ukraine as fake news. State media outlets refer to Russia's invasion of Ukraine as a special military operation, rather than a war or an invasion. Vyacheslav Volodin, the Speaker of the lower house of Russian parliament, said the new measure will force those who lied and made statements discrediting our armed forces to bear very grave punishment. I want everyone to understand, and for society to understand, that we are doing this to protect our soldiers and officers, and to protect the truth, he added. The new law envisages sentences of up to 3 years or fines for spreading what authorities deem to be false news about the military, but the maximum punishment rises to 15 years for cases deemed to have led to severe consequences. Also Friday, the state communications watchdog, Roskomnadzor, blocked Facebook and 5 foreign media organizations based abroad, which publish news in Russian in a sweeping action to establish even tighter controls over the information about the Russian invasion of Ukraine reaching ordinary Russians. Roskomnadzor blocked Facebook, citing its alleged discrimination of the Russian media and state information resources. The agency said in a statement that the restrictions introduced by Facebook owner Meta on the Russian news channel RT and other state-controlled media violate the Russian law. Nick Clegg, Meta's president of global affairs, said in a tweet in response to Russia's action that millions of ordinary Russians will find themselves cut off from reliable information, deprived of their everyday ways of connecting with family and friends and silenced from speaking out. We will continue to do everything we can to restore our services so they remain available to people to safely and securely express themselves and organize for action, Clegg added. The Russian media blocks also affected 5 foreign media organizations based abroad which publish news in Russian. They included the BBC, the US government-funded Voice of America and Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, German broadcaster Deutsche Welle and Latvia-based website Meduza. Together, they are among the most influential and often critical foreign media publishing in Russian. Roskomnadzor said those media had published false information on subjects including the methods of carrying out combat activities, attacks on civilians, strikes on civil infrastructure, the numbers of losses of the Russian Federation armed forces and victims among the civilian population. The BBC said Friday it was temporarily stopping the work of all its journalists and support staff in Russia while it assessed the implications of the new law. BBC Director General Tim Davies said the legislation appears to criminalize the process of independent journalism. The safety of our staff is paramount and we are not prepared to expose them to the risk of criminal prosecution simply for doing their jobs, he said. Davies said the BBC's Russian-language news service would continue to operate from outside Russia. Earlier in the day, the BBC posted instructions on Twitter about how Russian readers could work around the block by using apps or the dark web. Access to accurate, independent information is a fundamental human right which should not be denied to the people of Russia, millions of whom rely on BBC News every week. We will continue our efforts to make BBC News available in Russia, and across the rest of the world, the BBC said. Earlier this week the BBC said it was bringing back shortwave radio transmission to Ukraine and parts of Russia so people can listen to its programs with basic equipment. Some well-known media outlets within Russia have chosen to close rather than face heavy restrictions on what they can report. News website Zanak announced it was closing Friday morning, shortly after the parliament approved the draft bill. On Thursday, Russia's top independent radio station Echo Moskvy was closed and independent TV station Dost suspended operations after receiving a threat of closure from the authorities. The authorities also pressed ahead Friday a sweeping effort to target human rights organizations. Authorities on Friday raided the offices of Memorial, one of Russia's oldest and most prominent human rights organizations. According to Memorial members, police didn't provide any explanation and there were no warnings. The police refused to let me and the lawyer in without explanation, and when I tried not to let in the reinforcement officers who arrived in bulletproof vests and masks, they threatened to use force if I did not let them in, the chairman of International Memorial Jan Raychinsky said. This is the level of justice today in the capital of Russia. Another leading human rights group, the Civic Assistance, also saw its Moscow office raided on Friday. That is all for today news. Thank you for watching to my channel. Please be sure to leave your comment and subscribe below for more news updates.